to get here. I literally can't. I can't wait for the weekend. It needs to be here soon.
Well, at least you got the antibiotics to get rid of that. So, I mean, if that's an issue for you throughout the weekend, it shouldn't burn as
It
much.
should be.
So,
Hopefully the burning stops because
yeah.
that's I've been drinking so much water and it's burned
Well,
every half hour.
you think after 4 times of having that, you would be a little bit more. Oh, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzers, everybody. This is episode 252, 252. How you doing today, Michael?
Other than the burning sensation, I'm doing great. I'm living the dream. The burning's still there.
You're a veteran at this point, so I think you'll be all
like
right.
you said, the fourth time, this is I'm going for 5, one for the thumb, one for the thumb.
I like it. I got all the old banners in storage. I can pull out the one for the thumb for you. We can hang some of those up.
Yeah, and then once I get that one, once you get the one for the thumb, that sixth one comes rather quick.
Yes.
Boom,
well,
boom.
For Pittsburgh Steelers, it does. There's a couple teams that would argue that.
Yeah, I hope once I get 6, I can stop like the Steelers. Me and the Steelers decided we've been great at what we've done or at what we do, so we're just gonna stop at 6.
Yeah. Well, you also had a lot of yours, your infections early on, so it was like the Steelers. It's you have to catch up now.
I'm trying to, man.
Hockey, Mike. We got the Penguins back on ice tonight. They are playing Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes.
Like the Oilers are coming in at 31-19-8, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are 27-20-9. I am going to make a prediction right now. I'm going to say they're going to lose.
Is that really a prediction? If it's but that's a bold prediction.
Bold prediction, yeah.
Hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Penguins might lose a close one.
Yes. I just here's the thing. I sometimes I go back and forth. I say, maybe they'll win. They got the goalie back. They haven't played well in a while. Uh-huh. You just don't get that with this team. You're just better off at just saying, you know what, they're probably not going to win, and it's been working. So I'm sticking with that until they change my mind.
Yeah, I am too. It's a good bet. We last time we played, it was a 6-3 shellacking. That we suffered at the hands of the Edmonton Oilers. So I think it's safe to say that we are going to lose.
Watch them win tonight. Wouldn't that be something?
Hey, if they win because of our pessimism, I will take that.
Wouldn't that be great?
That's why I always pick against the Steelers. I want them to win. So I figured if I pick against them, they're going to show me. They personally know that I am rooting against them.
Yes, Derpy. Thank you. I think that you're on the right path. Follow me, my friend. You'll be on the right path. Good life advice.
No, shit. You know what? I think we should be life coaches.
We should be life coaches. We could do it right online. We could do like a the conference kind of things, and we'll have a bunch of people come in and we'll tell them how to do great things with their lives.
Yeah, I can't follow my own advice, but I give sound advice. Everyone else should follow my advice.
That is what I do best.
They are. It is well time past the Penguins to have a rebuild. They aged out, man. We saw this happen with Chicago. We saw it happen with the LA Kings, and it finally caught up with the Penguins.
Yeah, it sure
even
did.
Though it's it's not it's not the core 3. It's everyone else. Once they hit a certain age, they just can't keep up. But those 3 keep playing along at a pretty high level.
I tell you what, it's a safe bet to say the Penguins are going to lose. We're going to say that we all agree on that. We don't know what's going to happen, but we all agree on that. Mike, why don't you give me a prediction? Give me a prediction. That will make it a little bit more interesting. Give me a score. What do you think the score is going to be tonight?
Let's go. I'm going to go 7-2.
7-2 Edmonton?
Edmonton, and Crosby, Malkin, and Letang. I think 2 out of the 3 end up on the score sheet.
Okay, well, that's always a safe bet, Mike. I think it's going to be 4-1 Edmonton. Not too far from the course here, or not too far from the course. And I think that, you know what, whatever happens tonight at 7:00 in Pittsburgh, it's going to fall by the wayside because on, I believe it's the 26th, they host the Tampa Bay Lightning, Mike. And yeah,
but let's make it easier.
But listen to this.
Well, we do have St. Louis mixed in there.
St. Louis is mixed in, but in the Tampa Bay Lightning game, Donnie Iris will be singing the national anthem to celebrate his 80th birthday at PPG Arena. So,
hey, if Donnie Iris can't inspire the Penguins to victory, I don't know what will.
Well, here's my thinking. If they're going with what the Pirates do, they do everything but put good players on the field and make the adjustments they need to do to make the team better. Maybe we could, we could just do all the extra things like the Pittsburgh Pirates, which we are going to get more into that a little bit later because I got a little bit more detail on some of the renovation going on over at PNC. But again, we'll get to that, Mike. But yeah, come on out to the Tampa Bay game. Get to see some Donnie Iris, all-time rock icon.
I knew he was old. I didn't realize he was that old.
80 years old. Wow.
And still out there performing.
Yeah. And you know what? I follow him. So it isn't just this pick him out, call him out of the home and have him come and sing a song. He and his people do rock during, not this time, and they are, still performing. So maybe we could do, but maybe we'll still be doing this at 80, Mike.
Oh, well, we're still doing this at 80. Times are tough in the hood.
You know what? I agree. I don't think you will be alive anywhere near that point, but I will carry on strong,
man.
I will carry on strong and keep the good name.
Oh yeah, you're the one who's going to carry on strong. Out of the two of us, I think I might live the marginally healthier lifestyle.
Well, I think that we're probably
marginally.
We're going to even out. Yeah, we're going to even out somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I got some news that I like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that yet. I was watching college basketball last night while I was waiting for Beavis and Butthead to come on. And a couple of big things happened last night, Mike. I want to start with this Boston College Virginia game. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Boston College upsets Virginia.
I saw that.
63-48. Now, this is interesting. This makes things really interesting in the ACC, especially if you're a Pitt fan. Pitt now controls their own destiny. With Syracuse coming to town tomorrow, in the following game with Notre Dame, the last game of the season against Miami. If Pitt would win out, they win the ACC. There's no stopping them. There's nothing at this point that could happen. If Pitt wins the rest of their games, they are ACC champions. They win the conference. And I think that, like I said, providing they don't stumble on Syracuse or Notre Dame, this could make a really interesting weekend next weekend in this regular season showdown with Miami, which everyone already expected it to be a big game just because. Yeah, Mike, Pitt wins out, they win the conference. Nothing could stop them. They do control their own destiny. You like this position in sports. Oh yeah. How many times the Steelers, it came down to, if you win the last 4, if you win the last 6, how many ever games the rest of the season, the rest of the way out, you will be into the playoffs. And it's a thrilling ride if you're a fan, because you're really on the edges to see you want this team to do it. And like I said, they win, they're in. They have the crown in the ACC. So that was a big upset, Mike. Boston College, which I talked about yesterday with having the big man, and they were able to beat us. And I just it was amazing. I was watching another game and that came up. Yeah. I thought, man, that's so cool. Good.
Yeah, you hope like you're saying, controlling your own destiny. That is huge, especially at this point in the season. Yeah. But also at the same time, like the pressure that puts on you, because hey, it's all on us now. Right. We got all the outside help we needed. Now we need to perform. Now you're gonna see all right, who are your gamers? Yeah. And who are your not your big time players. And that's what's going to happen right there. That's going to be interesting to see.
An edge, Mike. We're going to see what this team's all about. Yeah. I think.
Will they come out and you're going to see what kind of team they are? Like, are they going to come out tight because they control their own destiny, or are they going to come out loose now? Like, hey, it's on us now. We can go out there and just play the way we want to play. We don't have to try and keep things tight to the vest and hope we get bounces going our way. Now we can go out there and just play.
I do fear
if that weight is lifted off their shoulders, knowing they can just go out there and play, that helps a lot of people. Like you have that no pressure.
Well, here's the thing: they never cracked into the top 25, and that's the part that concerns me, because it's a psychological thing. You know it as well as I do. And in a lot of schools that are like Pitt, as soon as you get ranked, there's some kind of brain fart that happens, and you get tripped up and you end up getting knocked. I mean, this is a Pitt thing. I mean, this goes on all the time. Football, basketball. And, that's the one thing that concerns me. Let's just say, they win these next 2 games and it's in their head. Hey, we win against Miami. That's it. We got the ACC crown. It just concerns me that might be the case. I hope it isn't the case. But you know what? Any way that it breaks down, Mike, if they win these next 2 and say they lose to Miami, they're still in a great spot. They're still going to, go into the ACC tournament feeling hot, and they're still going to go into the big tournament at this point. There's no convincing me otherwise. I think that, Mike, the one thing that concerns me is just that it's that the same reason why when we just got to a certain point and everyone just said, why aren't we ranked? Why aren't we ranked? Why aren't we getting respect? At that point, I just started saying to myself, you know what, watch what you ask for, because I think that we play a little bit better with our backs against the wall, being that us against the world kind of team. Yeah. I think that's the position that Pitt has to take if they do want to make a big run. I don't think you can start giving these guys the accolades. I don't think it's going to help this team out at all by doing that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, because like you said, that is like a Pitt thing, and it's just like a Pittsburgh thing. Like when you get that expectations are you are the best, it seems to be when the teams in this area, I don't know, like it just seems like that's when you start losing. But I don't know. I want to see them do, win out, make it to the tournament, but then people are like, well, they only made it because of, Virginia lost and they really shouldn't be here, and they get a bad ranking and then have that us against mentality to go in to the tournament and try and do damage that way.
Here's the thing that gets me about that. People say things like that, but you know what? We all play the same schedule.
Yeah.
In the ACC, once you knock out your first X amount of games, your exhibition games, your hand-picked games, you then play the same exact schedule that everybody else in the conference plays. And you know what? Virginia got upset by Boston. You know what? We got upset this season too by teams we shouldn't have lost to.
Yeah.
So like I said, we just have to take that us against the world into, moving forward, going into March. I think Pitt might be just fine. I think, like we spoke about yesterday, there are a few things that they are missing comparable to, compared to some of these really, really good teams in the land. But, they're going to make a good run, which they can.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm watching a game last night and they're talking about Miami. Maybe it was on the ACC network. I don't remember where it was, but they were talking about Miami having a legit shot of being a team that could be a Final Four team.
Yeah.
Miami's a team that we beat. Miami's a team that we could possibly knock, out of the running for the crown in the ACC. And if we beat them one more time, how far are we off from being a pretty damn good team?
Exactly. And kind of like, I want to pick up what Derpy wrote in the comments, because we were talking back and forth, me and him, about like, I'm looking for a 1 seed to be knocked out. And he brought up Alabama.
Oh, that's interesting.
Have you heard about what's going on there?
No.
Well, they kicked the player off because he was, he shot someone. Yeah. Well, they found out their number 1 player, who was it? Anthony. I want to get the name right because I don't want to. Excuse me, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon Miller.
You were close.
He's the one. He's the one. I was going to say Anthony Miller.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, but no, he was the one, according to text message, who supplied the gun. So like,
yes,
playing or not,
delivered it.
Yeah. So if he, they get the 1 and they eventually decide, or something happens to where he can't play, could that be the upset?
Like it very
all this turmoil going on and he still plays. Can they be upset in the first round with everything going on? How focused are they going to be going in?
You know what? That's a great point. I did see that news yesterday about this young gentleman and this situation. I didn't even cross my mind, but
yeah,
you know what? That's an excellent point. Derp's also saying maybe Purdue.
Yeah,
this might be the season, Mike. This might be the season that we do see.
I want some ones upset, man. I want number 1 seeds upset.
I mean, you're playing schools though. I mean, the first round that are named, like Mike and Ryan University. So I mean, I think there's literally zero chance that anybody's going to lose in that first round. But
yeah,
as far as 1 seeds and providing that's who they're going to be, I think that Alabama is a very, very good candidate for that.
And then like Purdue, man, they lost to Rutgers this year. Rutgers is Rutgers. They lost to Indiana when Indiana was ranked 21 overall, and then Northwestern and Maryland.
Northwestern ain't bad. I mean, they're bad.
That's right. Bad. Yeah, Northwestern isn't bad. Yeah, they're a game and a half behind Purdue, but come on, like Rutgers is sitting there at 17.
Who was the last team that you named after?
Maryland.
Maryland.
And Maryland's sitting there. They're also 19-9. They're third in the conference. They lost the other two teams behind them, but my God, like this Big Ten conference is not. We're not known for basketball over here.
Oh yeah, right.
It's
such a goofy year.
Yeah, but they've knocked off some ranked teams when they played them. But I don't know. You lose to, I don't know. You lose to bad teams. I don't like that. You lose to Rutgers, even though it was like in the mid-part of season. Right. And how strong is the Big Ten? That's like, like in college football in the playoffs. Are you coming out of the Big Ten? Well, how real good was the competition?
Right. I like it. Good heads up.
Yeah.
Dirt. Thank you.
Yes. Because I really don't pay attention to college basketball until the tourney starts.
Right. I pay attention to a degree, and then you get to certain points of the season, then you start paying attention a little bit more. But that's an amazing point. Yes, I didn't even put the two together. I seen that news.
Yeah. My boss was telling me this at work. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Because normally, like, we're kind of all over that, talking, like, texting back and forth. Did you hear about this dude? That was insane. And he's still playing. He's projected to be a lottery pick in the draft next year. It's going to be wild to see what happens there. And how's that team going to, keep insulated going down the stretch?
I tell you what, I do like what's going on in college sports, though, because, now North Carolina's good in football and Duke's good in football and North Carolina's bad at basketball and Alabama's good at basketball and
Northwestern's all the way up there.
Yeah, I mean,
I follow Trey Essex on Twitter. He's like, where's our? He's like Pitt fans, like, where's our ranking? Where's our ranking? All we do is win.
Yeah, and Pitt being up in it in everything, and I mean, it's a bunch of things that you generally don't see, and it's a lot of fun. I'm liking the college sports scene this year, Mike.
Me too. Yeah, like Therapy's saying, I agree too. Like I called that earlier, like Sweet 16 for this Pitt team.
I like that. I would be cool with that.
I would, like, for this team, I would take it. But did you also see, like, the starting lineup for, who was it? Like the oh God, dude was telling me at work. I can't remember if you seen, like, the Timberwolves or the Thunder. Our, like, Pitt starting five and their starting five. Pitt has an older starting five than an NBA basketball.
We are very old. You're right. Hey, at this point, we're doing what we got to do.
He was like talking about men playing against boys. And that's what Pitt does. You need a quarterback. You get a Kenny Pickett who's like,
our strength is our yes, absolutely.
Old players in college.
Who we're like. I don't know if you had one in your town, but we had this kid. This kid, he was probably like, I don't know, felt like he was 20 years older than the rest of us. But he would always play football with all the younger kids.
Yeah.
And he would be and you know what? It wasn't enough that he played football and basketball with all the younger kids. He had to, like, really rub it in their faces when he would score a touchdown or and that's what Pitt feels like this year.
Do you remember the movie Necessary Roughness?
Absolutely.
It's called Bacula, Sinbad, Kathy Island. That's like Pitt basketball right now. They're finding all these guys who have like 1 year of eligibility left.
Yes.
Like, let's go.
I do. I like it. I like it a lot.
I found that interesting. Like, an NBA team is younger than Pitt starting five.
I wasn't aware, but that is pretty interesting.
That is. I was like, that is a fun fact, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a fun fact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's what I like, the regions and the matchups. I can't wait to see, like, what regions these teams get put in.
Right.
Everyone's, why are they in the West? Why are they in the East? And they're fighting about it and everything. I can't wait. Selection Sunday? Don't they do it on a Sunday?
Yes.
Or Saturday or whatever. I forget what they call it.
It is a Selection Sunday.
I can't wait. I know a little bit about college basketball.
I missed, I don't know, what did I say that I missed? I missed a Boston College Virginia game. It was because I was watching Syracuse, just because I wanted to get a better look at Syracuse. They were playing Clemson, and they got blown out of the water. Mike, I'm pretty confident, unless we just come out and we're not hitting anything. We come out. But you know what? I'm watching Syracuse last night, and Clemson ain't anything amazing, and Syracuse is just that much more. There's such a margin between the top three teams in the conference and everybody else, and I'm not too worried about Syracuse. I'm not worried about Notre Dame, and this is something. I mean, obviously the team, the coach, everything, they have to keep their head in one game at a time. But myself, I'm not worried about these next two. Syracuse don't scare me at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched them get blown out last night. There's nothing about that team that scares me, and Notre Dame, not at all. But that game against Miami will be huge. It will be huge, provided, Mike, we do win these next 2 games. And we, like I said, we control our own destiny. We went out.
They do.
We are the ACC champions, man. So
this last game at the Pete this year, that place should be rocking and rolling. And then you got the next 2 on the road, man.
Absolutely, man.
Finish strong.
Can't wait. I can't wait. They're exceeding everybody's expectations.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fans, we obviously, we look at the schedule and we're like, we could win all these games. So the fans, we're in there, but everybody else, they didn't see it. They didn't respect this team enough to put them in the top 25 all season. And like I said, I'm thinking that's a good thing at this point.
Yeah.
Play the back against the wall card, play us against the world. And, sometimes that really goes a long way for teams in situations like this. So I'm excited. Bring them on. Let's do it.
Ooh.
I guess what I was going to say before, big news. Well, I'm not news, but some people don't know. The XFL. There's a game tonight, Mike. A Thursday night game.
What?
Yes, sir. The Seattle, or I'm sorry, not this. Yes, St. Louis Battlehawks are at the Seattle Sea Dragons. So you are going to get to see our favorite quarterback Ben DiNucci play tonight for Seattle. Mike, Ben DiNucci.
Now, that's your boy, man, Ben DiNucci. We're not going down that.
It was wild when I seen this. I thought it had to be Seattle that's playing tonight, because we're going to talk about this, and we just had the pleasant exchange the other day about Ben DiNucci. But no, everybody, the XFL, there's football tonight. Everybody, if anybody doesn't realize this, yes, football tonight, 9:00. Seattle Battlehawks versus I keep saying that, St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Seattle Sea Dragons. You will get to see not only Ben DiNucci, but on the Seahawks, they do have Josh Cribbs, a few other guys you may recognize. And if you recall from last weekend, the St. Louis Battlehawks, Brad Gradkowski, the former Pittsburgh Steelers backup quarterback and local, he is the offensive coordinator over there in St. Louis. So there you go. We got football tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
We got the Penguins. We got football. I will be switching back and forth. I can't wait. My big night. I think that I'm going to watch. You know what? Penguin game should only last till about 9:30 tops. So I mean, if anything, there's only going to be that half-hour period of time that we'll have to figure it out and decide. But you know what? If Connor McDavid comes in and is either putting a whooping on us, I'm going right over to the XFL at 9:00.
Oh yeah. I
still don't have football out of my system. I love it.
I'm loving the XFL, even though like the ratings, I saw that it looks like they've taken a dip down from XFL 2.0. But
you know what? I think it's going to get better.
I hope it does get better. It just sucks the way that league, man. They were going well, then everything happened, boom, shut down. So hopefully,
can I tell
slow
you
and steady get back up to where they were.
The XFL, I think I heard and quote and find out and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. The XFL had better ratings last week than the NBA All-Star game.
That wouldn't surprise me, because I saw that their ratings were down. Like everything around that game was down. Attendance.
Yeah, it was like it was getting beat by like everything. Down. Martha Stewart. I don't know Martha Stewart, but I just know that
Martha Stewart.
Hey, she's in Snoop's gang. Do not bad.
Oh, I am not. You know what? She is hardcore. She didn't snitch. She did her time. She held that shit on lockdown, man. She's hardcore, man. She's more gangster than 6ix9ine.
But I tell you what, the NBA, yeah, their ratings were way down. And I'm pretty sure I read somebody that was in the NBA formerly had written that they had lost the ratings battle to the XFL this weekend. So I thought that was kind of wild. It's a bad thing for the NBA, but it's kind of a good thing for the XFL. So
yeah.
Football, Mike.
Oh yeah, rooting for San Antonio because of Hines Ward. That's the only. I'm rooting for them. And who's Rod? Who's he coach? Vegas?
Vegas Vipers.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going next. The next games, Mike. There's also 3 more games this week. Saturday is the second game of the week. It is DC at the Vegas Vipers, Rod Woodson's coach team. Then the following 2 games are on Sunday. San Antonio Brahmas, which is they're mentioning there.
Yep.
About Hines Ward being the coach. That the first Sunday game is San Antonio versus Orlando. And finally, the last XFL game of the week, Mike, will be Arlington at Houston. As I mentioned last week, the Houston, they seem like they're hitting on all cylinders. Mike, watch this team. Watch Houston on Sunday. See what you think. They are, at this point, I mean, how much do we really have to go on?
Yeah.
But they do look like they are the top team in the XFL. That is the last game of the weekend, Arlington at Houston.
Yeah. I'm hoping I'm able to sit down this weekend and watch a couple of these games. Like, this is the only free time I have. It's on the weekends anymore to watch sports. So I'm glad there is football still available.
Me too. You know what? And I was thinking, once this is done, then the USFL starts.
Yeah.
And then once the USFL is done, it's going to be like almost time for camp in summer.
Yeah. Well, then we still have we have the combine coming up in a couple of days.
We have the combine.
We have the draft, which it makes me mad. All year long, I'm like, when I put my vacation in for work, I have to put in for the dates of the draft. What did I do? I put in for my kid's birthday week.
Oh, what do you think?
I know. What kind of well, what was I thinking? Why was I trying to be a responsible parent? I totally forgot. Like, I wanted the whole draft. I know. The draft only comes by once a year. His birthday, I can celebrate that any day of the week. He has no
have a draft any day of the week.
You cannot. I have failed.
This is why I hate you sometimes.
This is why I hate myself sometimes. Because I was looking up the dates for the draft. I'm like, mother.
I want to go. I'm like, before we move on and get into football, which we have plenty. I do want to cut into something that Derpy did say recently. I'm trying to look back and find it. I see Kentucky. Yeah. Kentucky. You mentioned Kentucky. I do want to mention, real quick, guys. Also on TV last night was the Kentucky-Florida basketball game. Uh-huh. And I wanted to make mention of this. There's a young gentleman on the Kentucky basketball team. His name is Adu Thero. Mm-hmm. He's a freshman. He is one of the main 8. The first half, they played 8 players, and he was one of the main 8. He only scored 2 points. He only averages 2.4 bounds a season. But again, he's a freshman, halfway through his freshman season. Now, Adu, he is from right down the river here, from where he went to Quaker Valley, Mike, Quaker Valley High School. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think they won a state championship. But he, when my oldest son, he used to play AAU basketball, and this Adu was a few years younger, and it was wild because his dad was he ran part of the AAU program. Yeah. Now this guy went to Memphis. The dad, he played basketball in Memphis and blew his knee out. 6'10", Big Al, and he never was able to pursue his career in the NBA. Yeah, 6'10", was at Memphis doing great, blew out his knee, and his mom, who's 6'7", she spent time in the WNBA.
Oh wow!
So Adu is at 6'6" at this point. Was never that big, obviously, when these kids were in school. I mean, he's, like I said, 5 years younger than my oldest, and it was amazing, Mike, because when you would go down to the AAU games, they would always have, and I think it was set up this way because they knew that this kid was going to be something. His dad was 6'10", his mom was in the WNBA. And they would always have him playing in a group that was like 2 sizes too big. So he was out there running with these high school kids, Mike, when he was like in 6th, 7th grade.
Jesus.
So you knew he was going to be good.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's not at the point yet where he's able to maximize his potential because he is a freshman. They have a couple of really good people, and those guys eventually have to graduate. But that name, he's number 3. He's 6'6". He's a freshman, 200 pounds. He went to Quaker Valley High School, Mike, right down the river here. I'm pretty sure they won the state championship when he was on the team. Again, he's only averaging 2.4 a game and 2.1 boards. But keep your eye on him, Mike. He's a local. I think he's going to do amazing. If he has any of the genes with like his parents, he is going to go far in this sport. And like I said, from what I know and from what I've seen, there's no doubt in my mind. Again, he is one of the top 8. He was playing in the first half with this team in a big game against Florida last night. Adu Thero. So keep an eye on him. I did want to talk about him, Mike, because I always, like I said, I like to talk about the local guys, and I think you're going to see a lot about him coming up down the road because he still has 3 more years of eligibility.
Oh man,
in college. So
yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. Big guy. He's a big, and it's wild because I'm watching it, and I know how big his dad is, and I know how big he is, and he's small compared to some of these guys that are out there being that he's a freshman.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch him in 3 years if he sticks around in Kentucky, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So again, everybody, Adu Thero for Kentucky, number 3. Let's fumble over to football, Mike. We started to talk about the combine, and of course, Omar Khan. He'll be speaking at Podium 2 on Tuesday morning at 10:30. If you want to catch that. And I'm not sure what's the dates. What's the situation with the combine? When does everything start? When does everything end? Give me some scoop, Mike. Would you?
Oh God. Combine is. I know they've extended the days for how far it's going to go. It is coming up. I believe it is. Yes, the 28th through March 6th. 28th through March 6th. You can watch it on the NFL Network. They literally sit there and they break it down player by player for the most part. Who's out there running the 40s, doing the drills and everything. It's if you're
day of the week is the 28th, Mike. Is that like
28th
Tuesday?
is Tuesday through Monday, and it's like broken down by one day is like wide receivers, and then you have like tight ends, running backs get a day. Offensive linemen get a day, defensive linemen get a day. The big day is like the quarterback day. Like once you get into like your skill positions day, that's the big day. DBs, yeah. My favorite is watching everyone run the 40.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. The 40 and the 25, or the 225 on the bench.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I enjoy this week. It is the next step in our NFL season. Again, like I said, Omar Khan will be speaking at Podium 2, 10 o'clock.
I think that's
10:30. 10:30 Tuesday morning. Check it out if you want to hear Omar talk. I'm excited, Mike. So we have from Tuesday to Monday will be the combine, and then what's the next big date after that?
It should be NFL free agency. Hold on, let me see when that starts. Let's see, February 21st through March 7th. Teams may use they can start using the franchise tag and transition tags. My God, let's see key dates here. I did not have this saved, so excuse me. The legal tampering period, like when teams can start talking to pending free agents to work out contracts, that starts March 13th through the 15th. The actual start of free agency is March 15th at 4 p.m. That is the beginning of the new league year.
March 15th.
Yeah, that's when you can start actually signing people. But the 13th through the 15th up until 4 p.m. you can tamper. Then 4 p.m. boom, on the 15th you can start signing players.
So there you go, everybody. We have that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is going to be. Oh man!
And then the draft comes when? When's the draft?
The draft is
the end of April.
The end. Because they keeps getting moved on me, and I always forget. It used to be at a certain time of the year, then it's changed. April 28th is when that starts.
Man. Yeah. It's all coming. It's coming fast, man.
Yeah, because they moved it up. It used to be like in May, I believe.
And then at that point, after that, then you're just you're waiting out for camp.
Yeah, April 28th, you have round 1. The 29th, you have rounds 2 through 3. And then the 30th is 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Wow.
Yeah. This is my time of the year. I can't wait.
And I like this because you have these new leagues now that's kind of keeping us in football while all this we're waiting for, this 2-week period, this a month period. We have football to watch in the meantime, and it just keeps getting better and better, Mike.
Yeah, it does too. It's I am a football crazed, and I love it, and I want more of it.
Oh man,
give me some football. And this is like I said, man, this is my season, the off season. I love it. Yeah. I get to play GM. I can't wait. I'm a nerd. This is my shit right here.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is wild. I'm just trying to let it all sink in, man. It's nonstop football. I thought that this day would never come.
Oh, it needs to be here. It needs to be here. I want the draft right away.
Right.
I hate having to wait. I hate having to wait for the combine. All right,
so here we go.
It needs to be here now.
Taylor Lewan, Mike. We talked about him many times.
Oh, our buddy. Your
buddy. Our buddy. No, I ain't my buddy. He's your buddy.
You love him.
So anyway, he was released by Tennessee.
Yes. 3
Pro Bowls, injury bound. All the Steeler crazies are online. Let's pick this. They got Steeler uniforms on them already.
Uh-huh.
And and I know, and that he has injury issues, and he wasn't exactly the high. I mean, he was good. He had a few Pro Bowls, but you know what? At the end of the day, there was he wasn't. Let's see what else is out there before we start throwing uniforms on Taylor Lewan, please.
Yeah, I hope so.
And if he gets picked up somewhere in the meantime, you know what? I wouldn't be discouraged, because there's so much more out there, and if there isn't much more out there, then we have the draft. I don't think we should jump on this guy. It sounded nice because, hey, look at this. There's an offensive lineman. He has a couple Pro Bowls. We need a good offensive lineman. Like I said, people automatically are going to put him in the position. You're going to hear that name. But you know what? I think we skip. Yeah. And if we regret skipping later on down the road, then you know what? We regret skipping down the road. But I don't think we jump on the first.
No, like you said, he has been hurt for. My God, he's coming off his second ACL tear.
Yeah,
we do not need another injury-prone player at an important position. We already have one at outside linebacker. We don't need a left tackle who's injury-prone too.
Those ACLs, Mike. That
yeah. Once they start going on big guys, like once your ligaments start going, like one time and you get it repaired and it doesn't happen again,
you still have to perform at the highest level against the biggest, strongest, fastest guys the world has to offer as far as football goes. I say we skip this guy, Mike. I just got a vibe. I get a vibe about it. I think we could do better.
We can do better. We can do better in the draft. We can do better. Maybe I think I'd rather have Dan Moore than this guy, because Dan Moore is at least there every game. At least Dan Moore, like when you put him up against someone good, Dan Moore tends to ball out. I want to upgrade over Dan Moore.
Absolutely.
I would love Dan Moore on the right side more than on the left side.
Yes.
But yeah, Taylor Lewan, he yaps a lot to the media, and we already have a guy who does that a lot. Like we already have Cam. We don't need anyone else sitting there yapping their gums all the time.
Do we need any more issues in the locker room like we've had in the past? Do we need any more issues with PR? That's just something that we could do without right now, especially trying to get back to a respectable level in this league.
Because we've, like, the signings that we did last year, the draft picks we had, no one was really crazy.
Yeah.
Like you had, George Pickens, on the sidelines, but that happens with every receiver in the league. And if you want to make a big deal out of it, that's what people were going to do anyway. They saw a young receiver gapping saying, "Throw me the ball." Okay, every receiver in the league says that, and people just wanted to make a story out of it. So I have no problem with the makeup of this roster, man. There's no attitudes that are really bad. And why would you want to, Taylor Lewan? He's never really that bad guy, but someone who yaps, has his always on podcast yapping. You don't need that. You just need people focused on football, and that's what they have now. And this team is getting better because of it.
Like, did you see the other day they were talking about? Remember that incident late in the season with Marcus Allen going into the huddle? Did you read that, where he was actually called over by the coach in that huddle?
No.
I swear I came across this on Twitter, and it said that he was called over. The guy, Allen 32, whatever. I can't come over, and he went over, and it ended up looking a lot worse than it was. The penalty was called. I don't know this to be true or not, Mike, but I swear I just seen this.
That
if you could confirm that, that'd be great. But that really changes that situation.
Oh yeah. That really does too, because if he knew the coach, or wanted to say hi or hey, how's it going,
whatever the situation was, and he probably should have just went on his way. But like I said, if he was called over, that really changes things. And people were demonizing him because, hey, this dude who goes into a team's huddle and starts a fight and causes problems, and well, apparently not him. If that in fact is the case.
I'm not seeing anything on Google, but it might.
Yeah,
but that would be
interesting.
It would, but you know how it goes. You do something like that, if that comes out and it's true, it's not going to be talked about everywhere. It's going to be buried. So,
some more, Mike. Some more. I just saw this morning. Mason Rudolph might consider sticking around playing in Pittsburgh if the Steelers would release Mitch.
You know what? I would take that. I would take Mason Rudolph. Yeah, because we know what we got. last time we saw him playing a live action game was that game against the Lions, and it's a game we should have won. We had a key drop for touchdowns. So you know what? Give me Mitch, or give me Trip, or oh my God, talk about
this was something
slip.
that I just seen this morning. It's not being talked about greatly, but what I did see,
I'll take it.
Mason Rudolph could stay if he would consider staying if the Steelers would release Mitch Trubisky.
See, is that coming from him or what? Because I know I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. If that doesn't say Super Bowl champs, I don't know what does.
Let me ask you this, Mike. You brought up KP. Did you see now? And this name comes up a lot. And I don't want to keep saying his name on the show. Well, yeah, I'm talking about the guy on the radio station in Pittsburgh that we've talked. His name came up a few times over the past week. He says that, and I don't disagree with him. Hear me out.
Okay.
He says that he guarantees Kenny will win at least one playoff game in the first 5 years, and that's something that Lamar Jackson was not able to do. Do you think KP and the Pittsburgh Steelers win one playoff game now in the next 4 seasons? And if he does, that surpasses what Lamar was able to do in Baltimore. I think that we can. I can't possibly imagine that we don't win a playoff game in the next 4 seasons. I just can't. I can't fathom that because we've already gone. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this team, Mike.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, like we've had, like, you take it back to the season, like we had Bell, Ben, AB, and they had trouble winning playoff games towards the end. And the way this, if this defense can like improve, that line improves and skill position players progressively they can, I can see it happening, but it's going to be one of those games where it's a tight game down to the wine.
Right. I'll take, a W is a W.
Where, I will he be the driving force behind it? Probably not, but I can see him, being on the team.
Of course, we don't know. I mean,
we don't know, and I'm not the biggest Kenny guy, but I can see it.
He could put together a game-winning drive, and moving forward, growing as a player.
Yeah, he can have that Team Tebow type drive where it comes out of nowhere.
Without the stabs at the guy again,
I think we can do it. Yeah,
I just can't imagine that the fans in the city are gonna not burn the place down if they do not win a playoff game in the next 4 seasons. Mike, we haven't won a playoff game since when? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be pressure on this organization to win at least a playoff game in the next 4 seasons. And it's got to happen. It's got to happen. And, he's the quarterback. So it has to happen with him. So I do finally agree with that personality. And I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
But, I thought that was interesting. That's a good point. It didn't even dawn on me with Lamar.
Yeah.
Going back, Mike, about the Ravens, Clowney to the Ravens is a topic that I've seen this morning. Didn't Clowney come from the Ravens at one point? Did he play?
No, I don't think he played with the Ravens. I know I can't remember where he's been. With the Texans.
He was with the Texans. Then there was somebody else in the meantime.
Texans. Did he bounce around to Seattle for a year?
Something. Maybe it was Seattle.
Yeah, he's bounced around the league. Never really lived up to his potential. All those a bunch of injuries.
Hammer though. I wouldn't want to get hit by that guy.
Oh fuck no. He never lived up to the big pass rusher that we thought he was going to be, but he turned into solid defensive lineman.
But that was some free agent rumors that I read, possibly a Clowney to the Ravens, which is just going to keep adding to that Ravens defense.
Which is wow. That they need to add offensive weapons, man. They need wide receivers. Talk about.
There's gonna be a lot of 3-0 games in that.
Okay, we're gonna throw to Mark Andrews and then Rashad Bateman, who's not that good, and Dunbar, whatever the other receiver's name is. You can't get a quarterback and you don't give them wide receivers. You give them good running backs, but no wide receivers.
Let me bounce this the other way real quick because I did want to get this in when we were talking about the other two gentlemen. We were talking about obviously Mitch and Mason a minute ago. Another rumor that came up this morning, which is, again, this is all rumors and speculation and fun talk. What about Baker Mayfield, Mike? He's a somewhat affordable backup quarterback if they play their cards that way. And Baker Mayfield is not a guy that I would be afraid to put under center if things get bad, if there's an injury, if Baker, Mike, there's a lot worse.
There is a lot worse, but I don't think for the price tag, it's going to be he's probably going to want what Trubisky has right now or more.
And I would.
You saw what happened when he went to the Chargers,
a bit of a gamer,
or to the Rams. He put up numbers. He's going to want to try and start again in this league. I don't think he's going to want to come to Pittsburgh and
make it interesting. Maybe fight. I you know what? I would take Baker over Mitch. Baker's a bit of a gamer. He's Action Jackson. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about Baker Mayfield at the end of the day. I think he would be a good, and like you said, he would be fighting. He would be trying to win. Derb,
he has some good stuff.
Derb, yeah,
allegedly.
Derb sees right through me. But the I just think that out of those three guys, if you're looking at Baker Mayfield, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph,
I'd rather
and he's affordable.
I'd rather have him than Kenny Pickett.
I mean, there's people that will say that, and it will. Be
I'm not trying to be facetious or insert an argument, but no, I would rather have. No, if I'm bringing in Baker Mayfield, okay, I'm having him start. I'm going to a run first, play action, pass offense that I saw him execute very well in
absolutely
until we had a separated.
And here's the thing: have him come and fight for the job, Mike. It could be a big thing, and it could be this hot topic. I mean, we were no strangers to quarterback controversy and quarterback competitions here in Pittsburgh. I would not be against it. I do like Kenny Pickett. You know that he's my guy.
Oh, I know he's your guy. But that's why I'm taken aback.
No, I just think I want to win, Mike. I want to win football games, and if that's what it's going to take, if it takes Baker Mayfield, and it's not my first option, it's not what I want. But if that would be the case, I would not be against that 100%. I would. I think it could be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun having Baker Mayfield here. Oh my God. You know how many Yinzers would lose their minds.
Oh, and then what if he would go and he would, he'd start
and he would come out and win games.
And he would get more wins against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland like Ben did. And it could be this whole fun thing.
It could be a fun thing. You know what? Oh man. Baker Mayfield lining up under center. Hey, he is the last quarterback to win a playoff game at Heinz/AccuSure Stadium.
You're right. That's right, Mike.
So finally, we would have
he was given a raw deal in Carolina. Don't get me wrong; they had a couple good guys. And what's his face? McCaffrey wasn't out of there yet, but that organization's it's a disaster. I wasn't expecting anything good from that. You send them out in LA where they have a little bit of talent. They weren't as
you saw what he did out there.
They won a great team last year. They came off the Super Bowl and were a pretty bad team. He went out there. He was productive. He did good things, and he was winning games toward the end of the season to help that team. Mike, I would not be against that. I could be a Baker Mayfield guy if it came down to it.
I've always liked Baker Mayfield.
I did too.
For
crazy talent, man.
For the Rams, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks in 5 games. Completed 63% of his passes.
And when he drops back, he knows what he's looking at. Like he's been in the league now. He's seen the it's not his first rodeo. I would not be against that, especially to come and bring it in as a competition.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be all aboard. I want to win. I want to win
too.
I'll wear my Kenny Pickett shirt, but I want to win. You know what I mean?
Me too. That's why, I'm not the big Cam Hayward fan, but if he helps the team win, awesome. I'm not a big Kenny Pickett fan, but if he helps the team win, awesome. I love it. That's what I want to. I root for the logo, not the name on the back. Right. So if we have to go out and get Baker Mayfield to win,
if that young Baker, man
guess what? You're
in black
my
and
new
gold
favorite player.
You better damn believe I'm going to be rooting for him on Sunday.
Oh man, we are going to get flamed. We are going to get attacked.
I want to win.
Me too. I want to win. Me too. I will. That's why, when the Steelers or the Penguins went and got Darius Kasparaitis, he all of a sudden became my favorite player. He was a misunderstood player. Where he came from, he was not a bad guy. He's a good guy. So if you get Baker Mayfield, I've always loved Baker Mayfield. I don't know what you people are talking about. I'm a Baker guy.
Marshawn Lynch, Mike, on the I Am Athlete podcast, named Najee is one of the top 5 running backs in the league. I don't know if I agree with top 5, but I do think Najee Harris is certainly underrated. Marshawn has him in a group with Henry, Josh Jacobs, Chubb, and Barkley, which are all phenomenal running backs.
Wow.
To put him in that list again, you're talking top 5. You're talking elite of the elite of the elite. I don't know if I would go as high as the top 5, but you know what? I would keep. I would. Najee certainly wouldn't be out of my top 10. I can tell you that.
He would not. Like I don't put him in that category. Josh Jacobs,
no,
Saquon.
No.
That next tier
point,
down. That next
right.
tier down on potential.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely on potential.
Absolutely. And that was Marshawn Lynch. He made that comment. I like I said, I don't really disagree with you, Marshawn.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think maybe another good season, maybe a really good season under the belt of Najee. Then you could start having that conversation.
Oh yeah.
But he's definitely underrated in my opinion as far as national opinion.
Let's see. Real quick here, I'm taking a look at Baker Mayfield's market value.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually 2 years, $13 million. So average value of $6.5 million a year.
Not bad for a guy that he's, like I said, he knows the game. He knows it. You're not getting this guy who's going to be out there with the look on his face. Like when he drops back, he knows what he's looking for. He knows how to read defenses. Again,
Jacoby Brissett, average value, market value. This all according to a Sport Tech is
Snickers bar
is 5.4 million. So
yeah,
1.2 million more, give or takes.
For the bad. Experience, for the I mean, don't get me wrong. I have nothing wrong with Brissett. I would be fine with him being put in the mix as well. But if you're going to pay, if it's $1 million difference, why not go with the more? Take the
Yeah, I'd take either one, but giving me the option, man, I'd take Baker.
Lendell White, you remember that name, Mike?
Oh my God, I remember
he
Lendell.
Came out of USC. He was on Matt Leinart's team. Reggie Bush. He got drafted by the Titans. Steelers. It was rumored at the time that we were going to look at him. Mike, he survived a heart attack at 34 years old.
Oh,
Lendell White. Yeah. So
damn,
but he's alive. He's all right.
That's good, man. He played for he went on
Tennessee. Got drafted.
Tennessee. Yeah, he was one of my favorite players in college.
After Jerome Bettis retired, he was the guy that I was hoping that we was going to get to be our next, our running back that was going to be physical out of the backfield. Didn't end up going that way, but you know what? I always thought he was a good football player. Saturday of March 11th, Mike, if you're ready for some Pittsburgh Pirates, like I know that you are.
Oh, yeah.
They play the New York Yankees. That's the one that I look forward to down in spring training. Mike, that is going to be March 11th at 1:05. Pirates versus the Yankees. Also, well, I'm getting into the Pirates here, so bear with me. The Pirates, we went on yesterday a little bit about the putting money into these stadiums. Heinz Field, they're putting the $1.4 million into the toilets upstairs. Well, here's the Pirates. They're putting a whole bunch into their scoreboard, Mike. It's going to make 118% larger.
I saw that.
118% larger. It's going to be a huge, huge scoreboard. Also, Mike, along with that, there's going to be ribbon boards, and a new sound system. So here you go, everybody. If you really miss your Pirates being a great baseball team and being in potential for the World Series, forget all that. Scratch it, because we have ribbon boards and a new sound system and a bigger scoreboard coming.
Yay. Feel the excitement, boys and girls. I'm not feeling it at all.
It's ridiculous. I commented on Andrew Stocky's post yesterday, and you know what? I went to town. I let them know how I feel about it. I think it's ridiculous. It's pathetic. These people are making a mockery of Pittsburgh, and people need to stand up for their city. It's not good. You gotta stop going to these games, people. And you know what? If you're gonna go for a fucking ribbon board, and then I don't even know. I don't even know where to go after that. So ribbon boards, Mike. The ribbon boards.
Ribbon boards.
We got 6 minutes left in the show, Mike. I do have a few things we still got to talk about. Bear with me. Here goes two quick questions.
Okay.
Two quick questions. Who has a better career as far as overall success? I know it's two different sports, but bear with me with these names. Is it going to be George Pickens, or is it going to be O'Neal Cruz over in the Pirates? Mike, which one of these guys at the end of the day is going to have a greater career that you would
see? Pickens is dependent on the quarterback play and line play and the offense of game plan, and O'Neal Cruz is all on him.
Yeah.
if how he can develop.
Two amazing play. We're so lucky to have both these guys. It's going to be such a blast no matter.
I'm gonna go with Pickens because I think it's gonna be George Pickens.
I think they're both gonna be good. I think here's the thing. I think if O'Neal Cruz becomes an amazing superstar, he won't be a Pirate very long.
No, unless they lock him up now.
Probably be a Yankee. Yeah. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him when the Pirates play the Yankees.
Yeah, and oh god, because the last great player that the Pirates developed was Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah.
And so hopefully O'Neal Cruz can, find it in himself to become that type of player, because the track record of Pirates developing players is not that great. God, if he does progress the way people thinks that he should progress, he can be one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Because that's how people are talking about him. Oh, how fast he is, how hard he can hit, how well he can play defense. Okay, now you're putting in minds of me. I want him to be like a modern day Ken Griffey Jr., a Vlad Guerrero type player, like one of these greats. So that's where he's at. And if he can reach that pedestal, he would have a better career than George. But right now I'm going to say George is going to have a better career just because the way Steelers tend to develop better. Yeah, especially at the wide
what a couple of young talents.
Than the Pirates do.
Really excited about both of these guys. I am. Mike, I'm going to jump off sports here so we can get into the trivia. We still got things to do here. So the Oscars, Mike, it's 1 year since the slap. They're preparing. So there's no incidences this year at the Oscars, Mike. It's already been 1 year since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock here. That's
the slap heard around the world.
A year. Jeez.
No, I don't know how we survived.
You ain't kidding. I got you that Ben DiNucci shirt and hell broke loose.
Brian Reynolds, he's going to be hurt or traded to the Blue Jays or Yankees. That's probably true.
He just came out this week and said, "I would love to finish my career in Pittsburgh." You're so full of shit. I don't got time to get started on him, Mike.
But like the thing is that he's under contract control for the next couple years, so it's going to be a whole song and dance between the Pirates and Brian Reynolds and like O'Neal Cruz. Like the only way he's going to stay in Pittsburgh the long term is if he's stupid and signs a long-term contract now. They throw a bunch of money at him. That's a decent amount of money, but in the grand scheme of things, not that much. He signs it. That's the only way he's going to stay here for a long time.
Drinking Coke and Pepsi, Mike, leads to larger testicles and more testosterone, studies say. Mike, I have the biggest balls in this side of the Mississippi, if that's the case. I like my pop. There you have it, everybody. Drinking Coke and Pepsi leads to larger testicles. And finally,
you should probably, because they're all like inflamed and not healthy.
And finally, the Peep Pepsi that we talked about last week, the Peep flavored Pepsi.
Yes.
It was not as bad as a lot of people say. I've seen a couple people, as a matter of fact, over the past 2 days talking about this Peep Pepsi. Mike, they all say the same thing. It's not as bad as I thought. It's not as sweet as I thought.
Yeah.
Peep Pepsi. There you go.
See, when you kept saying, it sounded like you're saying P Pepsi instead of Peep Pepsi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when you're like saying it's not that bad, I'm like, what is my guy drinking over here?
And Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website?
It's twodumyinzers.com, the number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. Head over there. We have links to everything: YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Facebook, email addresses, the merchandise store, everything at twodumyinzers.com.
And there you have it, everybody. We're live every day from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., Monday through Friday. And the show that we do that particular day gets uploaded at 8 o'clock in the evening over on Spotify. So you can check us out in podcast form if you just have time to listen in the car or work, whatever it may be. We do appreciate everybody. So please keep continuing to check us out. Very appreciative of everyone. Mike, we have a 70-degree day today. I can already feel the warmth seeping into the studio. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit a XFL trivia, and then we're going to get the hell out of here and go enjoy some nice weather.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
All right, so here we go. Trivia question of the day. This has been XFL themed this week. This day is no different. Mike, today is an XFL trivia. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Anybody on the live chat also play along. Here we go. How many weeks is the how many weeks is the XFL season slated to be? Now, let me clarify. I'm talking about how many weeks there's games and then playoffs.
Ooh.
So there's no bye weeks in the XFL. So the team plays X amount of games and then the playoffs. So now, with that being said, let me ask the question again.
Okay.
How many weeks is in the XFL season? How many weeks is in the XFL? So I'm looking for a total number. This is going to include playoff and season.
Let's.
Derpy going with the Derpy go with the short thing always. 69. I like it. I'm gonna
69. You know what? I respect that.
I'm gonna go ahead and lock Derpy in on the 6-9.
I'm gonna go with 10.
10 weeks altogether.
10 weeks altogether.
Okay. Do you see me still?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay,
you're a little wonka, but you're there.
All right. So I'm on my way back in here. So Mike says 10 weeks. Derpy says 69. I'm going to try to fix my situation. All right, I got everybody locked in. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
The question of the day, XFL, how many weeks is in the XFL season? Mike says 10. Derp says 69. The answer is, guys, 12 total weeks. There's a 10-week season. You're right in that part, Mike. It's a 10-week season. And then after that, there's a 2-week playoffs. It's real quick. I mean, there's not a lot of teams. They do a round and then it's the championship. So it's a 12-week overall. No bye weeks. The answer is 12 weeks. So there you have it. Learn a little bit today. I got the XFL tonight. Enjoy the game. I know Mike will be, because we got Ben DiNucci and the Seattle Sea Dragons taking on the St. Louis Battlehawks. That's tonight at 9:00. XFL. Check it out, everybody. Mike, do you have anything before we take off, man?
Like Derpy, he's always going with 6-9, and in the immortal words of Wesley Snipes, always bet on black.
There you go, everybody. You heard it here. For Ryan, Mike, the two dumb yinzers, have a great day. Enjoy this great weather in West